Ideas Inspired Information Podcast powered by Loke Enterprise. Here's your host, Braxton Holly.
Welcome to Ideas Inspired Information. I'm your host, Braxton Holly, and we are here on a Wednesday. And you know what that means. Real World Wealth. I'm here with my co-host, Maya Billingsley, owner of 24/7 Watches, and she got some real world wealth for you. And each and every week, we're going to supply you with what you need to know to really get your bank account up. Hey, Maya, how you doing today?
I'm good, Braxton. Thank you for making me the co-host of the show.
You
today.
are certainly welcome. You'll be hearing from us every Wednesday. And if you're always wondering why you don't have any money and why your bills feel like they just keep piling up, we'll fix it for you. Ain't that right?
Yep.
So, we're going to start off by really figuring out what wealth is. What is wealth, Maya?
Real wealth is having time to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it.
So, being able to do what you want when you want to is wealth.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Most people think wealth is just a calculation of dividends and zeros and dollar signs.
Kinda. I mean, because you can still make a lot of money, but all your time is dedicated to the job. Like if you're, an ER surgeon, all your time is going to be dedicated to that. Versus if you, stop trading your time for money and trade your money for time is different. Like the stock market, something like that.
So it's two levels to wealth, or two different styles. You can be wealthy with your time, or you can be wealthy with what you actually do.
Yeah, the key is to have both.
Interesting. Yeah. So you got your own business. What is wealth kind of created for you? Are you driving yourself to that wealth in that avenue? Do you have different forms of incomes? What do you do to create your wealth?
Yeah, I'm working towards building wealth on my own. So one way is through my business, 24/7 Watches. It's for entrepreneurs that value their time and wealth. So through that brand, besides selling watches, I also promote all things wealth. So like if you want to know about the stock market, I have information on that, real estate, anything passive, side hustles. That's mainly what my content is about. As far as for me, I do have a 9-to-5. I work in sales. Telecommunication sales to be more specific. I got the watch company. I trade stock options, and sometimes I deliver groceries on the side. That's pretty much it as far as my avenues right now. Sometimes I'll sell random things on Facebook Marketplace or eBay. I'm about to get into mobile home investing. I'm actually working on my first deal right now. So.
That's good. Let's actually jump in there real quick. With this mobile home investing, which is another form of real estate, is there a lot of learning curve that a lot of people want to do real estate, but they're kind of scared. They don't jump into it. They feel like they need a lot of money. What's the ins and outs of, at least as far as what you're doing, as far as that goes?
Yeah. Well, as far as not having money, you don't really have to have money depending on which method you choose to use. So if you don't have any money, you can start off with wholesaling. So basically wholesaling is like, for example, if Braxton wanted to sell his house, but he couldn't find a buyer, I would find a buyer for him. So technically I wouldn't be selling his home. I would be selling the contract to a buyer. So that's not going to use any of your money.
Actually, I've been looking at some things. Have you heard of Flip Man?
I have. He's from Birmingham.
Really? That's good to know. Maybe we can get him on the pod one day.
Yeah.
So I've seen he does a lot of talking about getting the contract, getting it signed, and getting it to the buyer, and he just makes that.
Yeah, you charge basically a finder's fee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to get into real estate with no money at all. Yeah. You just go find the location.
Yeah. And the key is to find distressed properties. So like if you see like houses in like low income areas that have the windows boarded up, high grass, that's the properties that buyers typically want because they like to start everything, gut the whole house out, and just make it brand new. So
basically, all you got to do is find the buyer or at least the owner.
Yeah, you got to find the owner. So that could be tedious sometimes. Yeah. Of course, you can go to auctions. in your local city. They usually have them at least once a week, or you can do online auctions now, depending on which state you live in. So, yeah.
Quick intermission. 24/7 Watches sponsors Real World Wealth here on the Ideas Inspire Information podcast.
This podcast is brought to you by 24/7 Watches, a brand dedicated to entrepreneurs that value their time and wealth. You can shop 24/7 Watches at TWENTY47watches.com and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at 24/7 Watches.
And we will definitely throw the link in the bio. We'll throw the link on the information. If you are listening to this podcast, go and watch it on YouTube. Don't miss out, because we might throw a little information on the video that you might not be able to hear on the podcast. So, Maya, let's talk about options. What are the options? Who moves options? What's the difference between options, bonds, stocks, forex, trading? All these crazy terminologies people kind of shy away from. What is options?
Trading options is basically a form of day trading. So you can buy a contract. So one contract of, let's say, Walmart equals 100 shares of that stock. So it's basically an entry-level way that doesn't take a lot of money to get into day trading. So it's basically almost like you're flipping money, but it's simple, but it's not easy, if that makes sense. So you really have to watch the news, or I use Yahoo Finance to follow different companies that you like. I would say start off with big companies that are in your home. So like Procter & Gamble, they have like Dove. Basically everything you use in your home to clean and bathe with, Procter & Gamble owns that. So just different things that might interest you. I like candles, so I follow L Brands. They have Bath and Body Works and Victoria's Secret. So just to give you an example, but you have to study the company's financial records. You need to pay attention to what the CEO is doing, and learn how to read the candlestick charts. It's very important.
So,
yeah.
Do you read candlesticks, or there are a lot of different types of charts? Do you recommend candlesticks?
I recommend candlesticks, especially if you're going to be using like the Robinhood app, which is convenient. I use that. So learning the candlesticks isn't hard. I thought it was going to be hard, but it's not hard at all. So I just looked up a YouTube video.
Okay.
And I also purchased a course on stock options, which we will drop the link to that in this video.
We will definitely drop the links. For more information, we will drop the links. Mm-hmm. Feel free to comment and give us your thoughts and your impressions of what we're actually saying, to see if this is something you want to do. Reach out and we'll help you. We'll guide you through the path to be able to start your stocks, your options, your whatever way you want to financially improve yourself. Of course, we're here doing businesses, and we're here doing real estate. We're here doing the stock market. So if these are forms of money that you want to embark in, reach out. We'll give you the keys.
Yeah.
So Maya, what are some ways that you would say people should go about creating wealth?
The first thing, start a business. I recommend starting a service-based business because you don't need a lot of money to start that. If you go product-based, you can do it, but it's going to require a lot of your money up front, buying products. So I would say stick with a service-based business that solves a problem. Like, for example, you can start a cleaning service, and you don't even have to clean. So one way you can do that is find independent contractors and hire them to clean your place. Make sure you pay attention to, like, if they show up on time, did they clean everything you want them to clean? Do that a couple times and say, hey, present them with the business opportunity. You already have your website up on how customers can book you. Most of your money is going to go towards marketing with that. But if you build slow, that can be a profitable business, especially with COVID-19 still going around. So that's just an example of a service-based business that can be lucrative for you. And of course, you can use that same model for anything. Like if you want to get into web design, you can use some people on Fiverr, and you don't make a website. The other people do it for you. So you just charge an upfront fee. Let's say you want to charge $500 to build a site. You find somebody on Fiverr to do it for $200. You pocket the $3. That's it. So,
and you do no work.
Yeah. You don't do any work.
That's interesting. people that say they don't know how or they can't figure it out, or there's definitely a way.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age, technology is giving us a way. So for people that do have skills or that do have a trade during this process, maybe they've been laid off. There are millions of jobless claims. What would you say to them as far as creating wealth?
Focus on learning a high level skill, and that can be things like copywriting. You can get into tech. Coursera had some free tech courses, I know, not too long ago. Anything finance, but like if you lost your job and you need fast money, I would go on Craigslist and look at the free section, and I would flip it online. Because people put a lot of free items on Craigslist. You just have to go pick it up more than likely, and you can list it the same day and make money like that. And you didn't put out any of your own money. You just spent, gas going to get it. So that's one way.
Okay.
Yeah.
The flip game.
Yeah.
I've Gary Vee does a trash talk, and he gets it for low and flips it for high. I mean, all it takes is a little time and effort, and you can make money yourself.
Yeah, you can. There's so many ways to get money. Another way I would provide a service to, like, I would go around like rich areas and offer to like dry clean their clothes. Just take them to the cleaners. So, you just charge that fee. They're gonna pay to get their clothes cleaned anyway. So you just got to get creative. You can have car washes, mobile car washes. That's a low cost business to start up really quick. So it's a bunch of ways you can make money.
Real world wealth. That's what we're doing right here. That is what we're giving you. It's real world wealth. So Maya, what are a few tips that you have for the listeners?
I would follow people on social media that have your version of success. I think that's really important that you see people, especially people that look like you, being successful every day. So I would say do that. If you have a 9-to-5, study the CEO of your company, because it's a reason why they're the CEO. So whatever they do as far as their daily routine, you need to figure out a way to make it a part of your daily routine. And maybe, send them an email. Maybe you might want to shadow the CEO one day. Just to get a feel for what it's like to be in that type of position. The third thing is read books. The book I would recommend to start off with is The Power of Broke by Daymond John. Really good book. He basically just talks about how no matter how successful you get, even when you reach all your goals, you have to have the same work ethic that you had when you first started. So that's basically what The Power Broke is about. So I definitely recommend that book. But yeah, read as many books as you can. And have those multiple streams of income.
I've actually read The Power of Broke. It's a pretty good book. It's inspirational as far as all of the stories that you see and where they came from and how they grew to be the people that they are today. If you don't know who Daymond John is, just go watch Shark Tank. You'll figure it out real quickly. Well, Maya, thank you for starring and co-hosting the first episode of Real World Wealth here on the Ideas Inspire Information Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And that's a wrap. We'll see you next Wednesday.